So the whole Kyle Kulinski, I said Kyle Kulinski. No, the Kyle Rittenhouse situation has been absolutely crazy, right? You've had people claim that he's a hero on the far right. They're like, oh, he's a hero who defended a store, and he's brave. And Donald Trump liked a tweet saying that this is someone saying, I think someone who's supporting Kyle Rittenhouse saying, oh, this is why I voted for Trump. So clearly he has support from the far right and the fascists, which should be concerning in its own way. And of course, people on the left like us are saying that why was he there in the first place? How did a minor get his hands on the AR-15? That's a gun problem in America. And the fact that the reasoning for why he was there, and he was radicalized by the far right, I think, to believe that he was there to protect people. And what ended up happening is more people died because he showed up. I'm going to explain the situation now. For people who already know what happened with the Kyle Rittenhouse situation, you can skip ahead in the video. I'll put timestamps in the description and in the comment section so you'll know which part to skip to. But for those who don't, let's get into this whole situation now. Okay, so this is a global news article. So here's the whole timeline from August 25th. So this is based on court testimony, drone footage, and videos from August 25th, 2020. During the raid day, Rittenhouse helps graffiti off a school. That same day, Joseph Rosenbaum, 36, is released from a Milwaukee hospital where he'd been admitted for a suicide attempt. Around 10 p.m., video shows Rittenhouse with a rifle standing with the other armed men near a used car dealership. Rittenhouse testified he was asked to help guard the business during the threat of looting and arson. He brought a medical kit and says his objective was to provide aid to anyone injured. The business later claimed that they didn't ask for anybody. That's what I saw on Wikipedia. Fact check me if I'm wrong, but that's what they said, that they didn't ask for anybody. So that's a lie, I think, by Rittenhouse. Around 10:45 p.m., another video shows Rittenhouse asking police officers for water. One officer says, "We appreciate you guys, we really do." So they appreciate the crazy right-wingers showing up with their AR-15s to cause violence. They appreciate them. Shows you what's wrong with America. Around 11:45 p.m., Rosenbaum chases Rittenhouse into a used car lot as Rittenhouse yells, "Friendly, friendly, friendly." Rosenbaum throws a plastic bag containing toiletries at Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse testified that Rosenbaum grabbed his gun. A journalist for the Daily Caller, a conservative website, testified that Rosenbaum lunged for the rifle. Rittenhouse fires his gun at Rosenbaum, hitting him 4 times and killing him. Video shows Rittenhouse fleeing the scene of the Rosenbaum shooting and being chased by a growing crowd, some yelling and "Get him." Yeah, I wonder why they were getting mad. Maybe because you killed somebody? And someone throwing toiletries at him, I think, was crazy. And to kill them, that's nuts. I'm sorry. Just because someone hits you with a plastic bag doesn't mean you shoot them 4 times and kill them. Just minutes later, after stumbling to the ground, Rittenhouse fatally shoots Anthony Huber, a 26-year-old who swung a skateboard at him. Yeah, okay, swinging a skateboard, you should never do that. But shooting and killing a guy for doing it? That's also too excessive. After Huber was shot, Gage Grosskreutz, now at 27, stops moving towards Rittenhouse and puts his hands in the air. He was holding a handgun. When Grosskreutz resumes advancing, Rittenhouse shoots him, severing most of his biceps. Rittenhouse testified that Grosskreutz had pointed the pistol at his head. Now, Grosskreutz is a certified paramedic. And he thought, Kyle Rittenhouse was an active shooter. I think he was right. He did have a handgun and he had it pointed at Kyle. He admitted this in court recently, and he did advance on him. So this is, I think, the one place where you could say he could claim self-defense, I think. I think he has a good case for self-defense in this case. But I think with the Rosenbaum and the other one, what's his name? Anthony Huber, I think this is it's very difficult because they hit him with a plastic bag of toiletries is not an excuse to shoot someone. And a skateboard, yes, can be dangerous, but shooting them again is a bad idea, right? Like killing someone, I think, because they're trying to hit you with a bag of toiletries, is ridiculous. So, Rittenhouse, after all that, walks towards the police with his hands up and a rifle slung across his body. Police order him to get out of the way, and one officer pepper sprays Rittenhouse when he approaches the window of a patrol car. The police then drive off, believing the active shooter was elsewhere. Can you imagine? He has a AR-15 across his chest. hands up and saying, basically admitting to what he did, I guess, and he wants to get arrested, right? He's turning himself in. And the police, because the kid is 17 years old and he's white, don't believe that he's a threat, even though he has an AR-15. If Kyle Rittenhouse was black, we know for a fact the police would have shot him. Let's be real. And they would have claimed, oh, self-defense, self-defense. Man, white privilege, bro. So, at around 1:30 a.m. on August 26, Rittenhouse, accompanied by his mother, turns himself into a police station in the hometown of Antioch, Illinois. So we all see the timeline, right? I've just explained everything that happened. I think he has a good case for self-defense on the what do you call it? What's his name again? Gage Grosswitz, the one that advanced with the handgun. But the other two, I do not think he has a case for that, because killing the person who threw toiletries at him with the plastic bag and hit him with it, I don't think that's not a case for self-defense, I believe. But again, we don't know the U.S. justice system, so maybe he could get off. I don't know. But he already has misdemeanor charges for a minor holding a gun, having an AR-15, and an older person, his friend, I forgot the guy's name, supplied him with it, who was, I think, 18 at the time. So yeah, this is a complete mess. So let's talk about what I think about the whole Kyle Rittenhouse situation. So what do I think about it? I think that he could claim self-defense in one case with the person who's advancing on him with a gun and, pointed at him. I think that's a good case for self-defense. The other two, I think, is more difficult because one person had a bag of toiletries, and I don't think that's justification for killing someone. And getting hit with a skateboard, I also don't think is a justification for killing somebody. It is better. It has little bit more than the toiletries, but still, I don't think that's enough to justify self-defense in that case. But he could get off on those cases. Morally is where the problem lies. We're not saying that legally that there is an issue in terms of what's being presented by the prosecution. That's not what the left is saying. The left is saying this. What we're saying is this, from what I've seen. Now again, we're not some monolith who all think the same way. But from what I've seen and what I think is that Kyle Rittenhouse was radicalized by Fox News, Tucker Carlson, all these far-right people who were claiming that BLM was this radical terrorist movement that is threatening the safety of America. So radicalized that he got an AR-15 from his old friend, drove, I think his mom dropped him off at the protest, by the way, drove all the way to Kenosha, Arkansas. Is that what? Let me see it again. Kenosha, Wisconsin, not Arkansas. Sorry, I'm not American, so I get it mixed up. Kenosha, Wisconsin. From Antioch, Illinois to Kenosha, Wisconsin. That's where he went. He went all the way there with an AR-15 as a minor, walking around with an AR-15. In any country but America, I think, any developed country, anybody walking around with the AR-15, that's not happening. And not getting arrested? But because it's America, that's like normal. Which is insane to think about. So I think that he should not have been there. This situation was completely preventable. He should not have been there in the first place. He didn't go there to protect people. Let's be real. I don't believe that. I believe he went there because he looked at himself as this hero of America, of white America, coming there to protect the business. And he's this hero, and he's going to help protect them by killing all the bad people. But I think he was really there because he wanted to shoot some people. I think he wanted this to happen. I think he wanted to kill people because nobody shows up. And again, remember, the business later claimed that they did not ask for anybody. They did not ask for Kyle Rittenhouse to come there. So again, a lie. And he went there to cause some trouble. He went there looking for trouble, and then trouble found him. So I have difficulty feeling sympathy for the guy because he did go there, look with an AR-15 ready to kill. He killed 2 people, and injured other 2. So I don't know. I think this is an example of what far-right ideology leads to. Young 17-year-olds running around with an AR-15 openly and shooting people, getting into a violent confrontation and shooting people. His mother definitely should be held accountable. The person who supplied him with the gun, I know, is already being held accountable. This whole situation could have been avoided if the far right didn't exist. This to me is a further proof that the far right need to be rendered politically irrelevant in order for America to go anywhere. This is a tragedy. Two people that died that shouldn't have died. A person that lost his bicep, like severed his bicep because of it. Other people got injured. I don't know, just tragic. You know, a 17-year-old was radicalized. I'm not saying this justifies anything that he does, but he was radicalized by people like Tucker Carlson and Fox News, other people on Fox News and the right wing, far right. And this is what happens. It leads to violence. Because this is what they want to do. This is what they really want to do. We saw on January 6th, they were looking for violence. Hang Mike Pence. They were chanting that. And Mike Pence is a Republican. So imagine what they wanted to do to people like AOC, right? This is a perfect example of far-right ideology reaching its inevitable conclusion, which is violence. That's really all I have to say on this Kyle Rittenhouse thing. To me, it's not that difficult to see that the legal matter is obviously complicated, but the morality of it is not. It's very simple to me. Okay. That's all I gotta say. If you like the video, please hit like button, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, because that way you'll know whenever I post. See you all on the next video.